we will move on to the next game, which is Kentucky, and it's a very interesting game. Kentucky and Ole Miss. Ole Miss 17.5-point home favorites. The total 53 in this game. I mean, they've looked dynamite so far. Ole Miss, there's no question. Now, it's very interesting, this game, because I don't see Kentucky's offense moving the ball up and down against Ole Miss. That is how shaky Kentucky has been on that side of the football. We saw them do nothing on offense against Georgia. We even saw South Carolina bottle them up. And I know they scored 41 against Ohio, but Ohio was really compromised. They were down to Nick Poulos at quarterback. It was absolutely terrible. They could not really do much of anything on offense. And Kentucky wore them down as the game went on. Now, again, Brock Vandagriff played it better, but how much can you take away from a game against Ohio? That ends up being the big question. So it's going to be interesting to see how this fares, how they fare here in this game with Kentucky and Ole Miss, or Kentucky against Ole Miss. I look at Ole Miss here as a situation where we know their offense is dynamite. There's no doubt. With Jackson Dart and company, they're capable of putting up points in bunches. They got the aerial attack because he can throw for 382 like he did against Georgia Southern. But they've got with Henry Parrish is an outstanding receiver, by the way, leading them there. Trey Harris running the football. Offensive line's elite. They can do anything they want to on offense. They can run it. They can throw it. The O-line's good. They've got playmakers down the field. If Kentucky and Kentucky's defense has clearly been the strength of their team, and they did keep Georgia under wraps. But the more I watch the season unfold, right now I have Ole Miss's offense being better than Georgia's right now. That's how good they've been so far this season. Now, they have not faced a tough schedule. Kentucky, defensively at least, will be tough. I don't know about offensively, though, because every time we've asked this Kentucky team to show something offensively against a good team this year, they've been terrible. The 12-point game against Georgia, 12 points, 6 points at home in a 31-6 loss to South Carolina. It's not the kind of offense that I'm really trusting here. On the road, too, with this game being in Oxford. I would lay the points before I take them. I would. And if you look at series history, the one concern with that would be, these teams played a couple years ago. It was a 3-point game, and they've played a lot of close games historically. But, that was then. This is now. It's a little bit better. And remember, they had Liam Cohen, I believe, still as their offensive coordinator the last time these teams played in 2022. I don't think the play calling's been as good. Clearly, Vandagriff has not stepped up here in this kind of a spot against a better team so far this year. So I'd be very hesitant to take and support Kentucky here in this spot. I think it's a situation where, for me, it would be lay the points with Ole Miss or pass. As far as the total is concerned, 53, it seems like it's a correlated game to me. If Ole Miss is going to cover, it's probably got a chance to go over the total because it means their offense opens it up. And if Kentucky is going to stay inside 17.5, for them, it has to be a lower scoring game. They are not going to be able to hang in this game if they give up 31, 35 points to Ole Miss, because I just don't have enough faith in this offense of Kentucky when stepping up in class. So I think that's the way you approach it. If you take Ole Miss, you take the over as well. If you take Kentucky, you take the under probably here in this.